What's up, guys? I'm here with my battle number 2 for the Smogon Superstars. This time I'm playing my boy Amir, high impulse. I haven't played him a long time. But, yeah, I'm using a team that Fuga passed me. Shouts to him. I believe ABR made it. It's a pretty okay team, I guess. It actually has a really bad matchup this game just because my opponent has Mega Beedrill plus Gothitelle being able to trap Garchomp, which is basically my only way of beating his Mega Beedrill. As well as him having Scizor to check my Gardevoir. So Garchomp is very pressured in this game. I'm actually going to lead off my Tornadus because it has the best lead matchup. I can knock off Rotom, I can Heat Wave Scizor, I can Hurricane Beedrill. However, because I led off with Tornadus and he led off with his Beedrill, I expected him to either Mega Evolve or Protect or go Rotom, which is why I actually made the Garchomp play, because I wanted to force the Will-O-Wisp if he went Rotom. That way I can get in my Gardevoir for free and get a kill with Hyper Voice or HP Fire. However, also the play was to go Garchomp had he protected and stayed in, and then swap into my Breloom, expecting his Rotom to get a free, sleep on my opponent. Because there's no way he would go for U-turn and take all that damage, all that unnecessary damage on my Garchomp. But that's actually not the case, because he Mega Evolves without protecting and goes right for the U-turn, and that throws me off completely. That was an extremely risky play. Obviously, it worked out for him, though I kind of felt it was unnecessary because I think in the end, Beedrill could have dominated my team anyway, but it obviously worked out for him because my Garchomp is down turn 2, so we trade rocks for my Garchomp, as I am going to be able to go out to my Gardevoir, and with rocks up, I'm just going to click Hyper Voice. Even Scizor will take about 40% from a modest Gardevoir's Hyper Voice, so Azumarill ends up coming in, probably as a pivot, seeing if I have Will-O-Wisp or HP Fire. I'm pretty sure Amir actually knows the team, so he knows this is 4 attacks with HP Fire, as Scizor is going to come in, and with Garchomp being gone, I'm really weak to Scizor now. I could have went for the HP Fire right here. However, I thought he was Banded Bullet Punch Scizor. Because he does that Beedrill, this obviously cannot be his Mega. And I thought I'd go down to a BP, and this is really hard for me to handle. So I need a Gardevoir in order to deal with his own Garchomp, because then Garchomp would be an issue to me, since I have no way to outright OHKO it without taking 50 million% by my Banded Azu's Play Rough, by his Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet. So I decided to switch out into my Jirachi right here. I want to expect him to be a banded BP, and then I could scare him out with the potential of a Fire Punch. However, he goes for Defog, and that throws me off completely. And I don't really know what type of Scizor this is. However, I am going to go for Trick just in case he went out into either Rotom or the or even the Garchomp. Now, the reason I tricked it is because if I can get rid of the Rocky Helmet, it will allow my Azumarill an easier time, but he ends up going out into his Garchomp via U-turn, as I am going to go out to my Gardevoir after he gets up his rocks. Going to click the Hyper Voice right now, as he is going to go out into his Scizor, and now I'll click the HP Fire. He has no reason not to click BP. He already knew my set anyway because he knows the team, so he knew I had HP Fire, and Scizor is going to go down. Had I went for the HP Fire earlier, I would have been in such a great position. I would have had rocks up and would have been able to pressure the Beedrill. However, Beedrill is going to come out. I'm thinking that I could save my Gardevoir and potentially Healing Wish it back up later with my Jirachi. So I'm actually going to go out to my Tauren on an expected U-turn as he goes right for knockoff. Good play. Best play I guess you can make right there. As I'm actually going to pivot out into my Jirachi on the Poison Jab. Now, I wasn't sure if knockoff knocked me out. I'm pretty sure it actually did. However, I could be wrong, and I didn't feel like calculating. I still don't feel like calculating now. So I went out to Jirachi, and I basically try to go for the Iron Head right here, because had he went for knockoff and it didn't knock me out, Iron Head would have done a lot to him, if not knocked him out. So, or put him in range of Aqua Jet, or well, he was already in range of Aqua Jet, but put him in range of Mach Punch for my Breloom. However, he did not want to risk it. Maybe if I went for the Healing Wish that turn, it would have worked out for me. However, if he didn't go for U-turn, I would have just had my Gardevoir, and I would have had to sack something. But I'm able to bring out my Breloom on his Garchomp, as he's going to allow me to put his Rotom to sleep, which is good because Rotom is one of the things that can take a banded Aqua Jet from my Azumarill. The bad thing is, though, he knows I am banded, so he can play accordingly to that. But Beedrill is going to come out. I'm going to sack my Gardevoir because it literally dies to rocks, so there's really no point in having this game, as it basically was the free switch. That way I can bring out my Azumarill and click banded Aqua Jet. So unfortunately, he knows I am banded, so he's going to be able to switch directly into his Garchomp, and I don't really have the liberty to predict Garchomp, because after Stealth Rock damage, I'm actually in range of Fire Blast from Tank Chop, so What I am going to do is take all that damage as I'm forced to switch out. Going to go out into my Tornadus on his Dragon Tail. He actually predicts me to switch. Good play on his part. It was his best play because even if I stayed in, he knows I'm banded, and I would have taken all the damage if I stayed in anyway by attacking him, even though he wouldn't have touched me. So goes for Dragon Tail again as I bring out my Tornadus, and I'm going to go for the Hurricane because he missed Dragon Tail. I miss Hurricane though, as he's able to knock me out with the Fire Blast, as I can now go directly into my Breloom, and I can click Spore. I click Spore just in case he stayed in with Garchomp. As you can see, Fire Blast does about 70% to me. That's a really low roll with Fire Blast as well. So I'm going to put the Garchomp to sleep, as I'm now going to go for the Bullet Seed as he ends up going on to Gothitelle. So I'm good with this because now I don't have to click Aqua Jet versus Gothitelle. And unfortunately, had I been any Azu but banded, I would have won the game right here. Or at least had a potential to win the game, because Mach Punch puts in the range of Aqua Jet from a regular Azu. But Beach was able to come out and go for Mach Poison Jab and knock me out. Excuse me, I'm like messing up all my words. As I'm going to go out to Azu, and this is where knowing the team really helped, because he knows that he can 100% win by going out into Garchomp on my Aqua Jet. Had I been an AV Azumarill, it would have been a 50-50 because Aqua Jet knocks out Beedrill at 51%. So if I went for Play Rough and I was AV, Garchomp would have died, and I would have lived his Rough Skin plus Rocky Helmet, and then I would have been able to go for the Aqua Jet after that. But because he knows I'm banded, all he has to do is go directly into Garchomp on the Aqua Jet, and I'm going to go down to the what's it called? to the Ruskin plus Rocky Helmet. So that's going to be a good game. I definitely got bopped. That turn 1 threw me off completely. It definitely worked out for him, though. I don't know if I would have made that play. I mean, I played pretty aggro, but I definitely wouldn't have made that play because I feel like Beedrill just had a good matchup in general versus his team. But trapping Garchomp really early, not having to deal with the Breloom Spore, good on Amir. I am now 0-2 in Smogon Superstars. Though game 1 should have been my win, but that's Pokemon for you. Good game, Amir. Guys, hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe for more Pokemon, and definitely stay tuned for more Smogon Superstars. So, yeah, later, guys.